Alright guys, we are back with the next part of Pax Dei here. So, I've done a lot since the last one. A lot of the stuff is tedious, so I didn't really want to show me hunting for resources and doing all this stuff. You'll notice that my character looks quite a bit different. We'll start out with that. I am actually rocking some leather armor. Some basically low level early year stuff here. The pilgrims marchers, Vanguard's breaches of the holy strikes, pilgrim's jerkin, hunter's hood of the marked prey, and some bracers as well. I don't actually have a cloak yet or gloves, but that would just give me defense and some other stats essentially. It's the hood and the chest piece and the boots that actually give you some of your defensive and other abilities. And you'll notice that the hood, for instance, gives me this kill mark, which lets me mark an enemy to do more damage to the things. This chest piece, the Pilgrim's Jerkin, actually gives Blessed Breath, which lets me regain some health. And the boots give me Breath of Joy too, which increases my movement speed for a certain amount of time. In addition to that, I have, I guess I've sort of been using as my main weapon a hand spear. And the one that I've been using is a bronze hand spear at this point, because it's what I'm able to make. And that gives me a bunch of offensive abilities like Swift Jab, Barrage, and Intercept, which come in very useful in combat versus the animals and the humanoid enemies in the game. I've also been using this fine coarsewood bow for ranged attacks, but that's mostly just for deer. A bow attack with one arrow essentially will kill a deer in one hit. Any other animal it will not kill at all. So or humanoid, actually it'll just make them angry and then they'll just come at you. And then you have to switch to your main weapon, which will take 20 seconds for all the abilities to come off of cooldown. So it really doesn't make much sense at this point to use the bow to pull something and then try to attack it with melee because your abilities aren't ready to go yet. So you'll notice I don't have any rings or earrings yet or bracelets. I did find an amulet at someone's market stall. I think I bought it for 5 gold or something, which gives 1 item power. So I think it helps with durability loss to have things in all of your slots. At least it used to in early access. I'm not sure if it does anymore. So anyway, you'll also notice that I'm not where I was building before. So I'm actually at my home base, well, what there is of it at the moment. And I'm in this sort of starting valley near to where I started at. It's right up the hill there, the petroglyph that I started at. And if you recall, at the beginning of my last video, which if you haven't seen it, you should probably go back and watch it just to see what's going on. One of the first places that I came to was up this hill here, along this river and up this hill. And one of the first places that I claimed, at least temporarily, was right up here at the top of this hill. I think it was, yeah, right around this corner here. And the reason I chose this area, if we look at the map here, it's right on the edge of one of the home valleys, which is here, and the wildlands, which is here. So it's one of the few roads that actually comes out of this home valley and goes into the wildlands. So I thought it'd be a good placement for people traveling along this road. Maybe they need to buy some food that they forgot to bring with them, or get a new piece of gear. Maybe their pickaxe broke and they can pick up one at my market stall or something. Obviously, other people have had that idea too, because here's someone else's plot and their market stall is right here as well. At the moment, I think, the last time I checked, there was nothing actually being sold here. And I really haven't seen much progress being done at this plot lately. Speaking of plots, though, So now I'm recording this on Friday. So we've had the early release for people that were in early access, which started on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we had the influx of new buyers here. So if I quickly turn on my construction hammer here, we can see that there are a lot of plots taken. Some things haven't really been built yet, but a lot of things have been started being built, especially along this river. In fact, way down there, you can see there's a whole big cluster of plots that are taking up that whole bend in the river. So my plots, I decided to move down from where I was before and from where I was when I ended last time, actually, which was in a completely different zone where I thought I was going to build my house. It was just too boring. One of my favorite aspects of Pax Day is actually the building. And the place where I was thinking of building last time was just a flat patch of land. And it would have been really boring. So what I thought here was I'd put my plots on this cliffside and then have a much more interesting place to build. By the way, here's my market stall, which is fairly bare at the moment. I really haven't gotten that far along in terms of my crafting capabilities. So, and the stuff that I am selling is dirt cheap. So it's almost not even worth it. But I mean, I already have 63 gold from just killing enemies. So, um, so yeah, anyway, let's start back here. So I'll explain a little bit my vision for what this place is going to look like. It's really a work in progress at the moment, but you can see that one of my plots comes almost all the way out to the road here, and it's so that I can put my market stall close to the road for people passing by. And I've sort of situated the plot. It is circular. The plots are circular, which is kind of weird, but you have to deal with it, I guess. I've situated it in around these trees. So we have this one tree on the one side, and then of course that rocky outcropping, and then we have it goes a little bit beyond this cluster of trees and this rocky outcropping on this side. Now the trees will come back. It's one of the banes of our existence at the moment in Pax Day is that if, that you can chop the tree down and you can build on top of it, but it will grow back and it'll be sticking up through your build, which can be really annoying. So I'm going to work around it because I don't know if they'll ever fix that. They said that they would, but they haven't done anything with it yet. So anyway, I'm planning on having my house starting between these two trees, essentially. So I'll probably have some stairs going up and have like some sort of front-facing part of a structure here at least. I'm not really sure how it's going to work yet because I haven't really started even over here yet. Everything that I've built is just platforms at the moment. So let's go over and look at what I've built. There's a platform down there, and then there's a platform here, which for a while was my main platform where I had a lot of my crafting tables. I actually had to move some things. I moved some things down onto that lower one because I extended this, and I actually had to raise this platform up by like a fraction of a block just because I'm a perfectionist. And what I was doing was I had this platform on the bottom, which I was fairly happy with. And I had these stairs coming up, which I was really happy with, the way that they curve around this cliff here. And they're actually, if you look here, they're right at the edge of my plot. So I'm really conforming right up to the edge. So I was really happy with the way these curved around here. But the problem was when I got up here, even using the shorter of the stair variety, it just wasn't flush with the platform that I had here initially. So I literally moved everything, rebuilt the platform, and then moved it all back so that it is now flush with the stairs. Yeah, you can laugh at me all you want. I just like when things look nice like that. I mean, it looks like a mess at the moment, but it will look nice. My vision is coming together. So I started putting this other curving stairway up, which is going to go to a platform or another tier or level, whatever you want to call it, up here. Now, you'll see that my plot, there's the initial plot that comes up to the road over there. Then there's this plot which sort of encapsulates this whole area down here. And then I have, it's really hard to tell here, but the plot actually continues over this rocky area right here. And then another plot is covering up that whole mountain sort of right there. So eventually I'm going to have stuff all the way up this mountain and sticking out over this cliff. I think I'm going to have my main sort of house up at the top here, probably. And then a lot of crafting areas down here. Uh, I have a general idea of how it's going to go, but until I see how things look and how everything goes together, I won't really know. I will tell you this, that I'm really considering having that area, that platform down there, being a basement. And I think it'll work. So I think what could happen is I come out of whatever structure is up here, come down here, and then I go into, like, this will be enclosed. So there'll be walls and maybe a door here. And this, you won't be able to get to this except for coming through my house and coming down those stairs. So this will be some sort of platform that you won't be able to get to from just walking out here like this. And I mean, you can see that it's pretty far below that platform up there. And what I might do, because my plot does come all the way over there, but I have these trees to worry about. So I may curve this around over this way and then have like because this land is sloping here, I may actually have some stairs coming up and have another sort of layer of the basement for maybe an alchemy area or something. I don't know. I think it's going to look cool when it's done, but it's going to be a lot of work. Getting the stones and the sand, which is what you need basically to build these rocky platforms, these rocky blocks here, which I'll show you now. I mean, these take 20 stone, and that's the basic stone. It's nice. And then 10 clay. So just for one of these blocks. Now, the smaller ones cost a lot less. So this one's 8 stone and 4 clay. And, you know, it has its uses, which I'm sure that I'll probably do some of this stuff here. I might actually enclose this here. I don't know. I'm toying with the idea of having this whole stairway even enclosed by just like a curving, I don't know, a curving corridor essentially with a roof maybe on it. I don't know. It might look very castle-y. We'll see. So yeah, it's very much a work in progress, but I'm pretty much invested in this spot now. I have been able to watch this valley fill up with people over the last couple of days, and someone took that whole area on the other side of the road there, so they'll probably start building something over there. But I have a lot of the crafting stations that I need. I have a lot of chests, and they're all full. Well, some more than others, but some of them are completely full. Like here's a lot of stone and clay, which I went out sort of on a, what do you call it, like a gathering mission just to get clay, and I came back with close to 1,000. So stone is a little bit harder to get, but I still have 400 and some. These chests are really nice. I don't remember them being in the game during early access, so they must have just added them fairly recently, maybe even for the full release. But they have a lot of storage. I think it's what, 33? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 4, 32, 35. Okay, so there's 35, and it costs the same amount of wood to build that as it does to build this, which only has 21. So I don't even know why I built this. It is a little bit smaller, so I probably upgrade this chest to one of these other ones at some point. But anyway, let's take a look at my skills so far before we do anything else. So we can go into J here, the journal, and look at skills. Obviously, my bow skill is increasing. It's only level 3, though, but it's getting better. My hand spears, I use those a lot more. Level 7 for that. And what else here? Everything else is level 1. But then we start getting into you actually have skills for your clothes. So for a while, I was wearing light pants and light shoes and a light tunic. So I leveled those up a little bit, but I quickly, once I got enough leather, I quickly moved on to the medium things. So those are leveled up quite a bit more. I don't have any gloves yet. I really need to make some so I can start leveling that up. But I'm up to level 6 for most of these. And this is important because you need to get to each like 10, each 10 levels will let you put on the next tier of armor. So once I get to level 10, whether I craft it myself or buy it, I'll be able to put on the next tier higher armor, which should give a lot more defense and a lot more stats. So yeah, that's one of the goals. But these things, all the skills are grinds. Let me tell you, they start off easy enough. Like you'll get to level 2 or 3 in your skills fairly quickly, but it's actually pretty much of a grind. By the way, I didn't show you my crafting skills. They're at the bottom of this list here. So some of the things I haven't even started on yet, like alchemy and armor smithing. I'm not a fan of alchemy. I'll probably do it at some point, but it's just very, at least in early access, it was kind of useless. I haven't made anything with armor smithing because that's like more metal armor, like plate and chainmail and stuff like that. So I've been pretty much a leather wearing person, so I've been focusing more on that. Baking, I've gotten a partial way to level 2. Blacksmithing, that's one of your core skills, so you really need to level that up because if you're going to do anything with metal, you got to do something with blacksmithing. I'll show you a little bit why that's the case in a second, but the blacksmithing really feeds into armor and weaponsmithing. Carpentry is very important to level up, very, very important. And um, there are ways to do it fast, but it does require a lot of resources that it's sometimes hard to find out where they are and to get them in abundance enough to level it up. But the reason it's important is because this is what unlocks your ability to make newer like building pieces. So as you level up your carpentry, you'll be able to get nicer looking floors, for instance, or maybe stucco walls, or like, all that kind of nice higher level building stuff, which is one of the reasons why I haven't really started building yet, is because my carpentry isn't high enough to support the building of uh, of those things. Charcuterie goes with cooking. That's like butchering the animals that you kill. It's easy to level up because you're just left with tons of carcasses when you kill animals. So cooking, very important to level because the food buffs are key in this game. They're very important. You always got to make sure that you have the right food buff for what you want. And otherwise, you're going to run out of stamina. Even if you're just going out gathering wood, chopping trees down or something, you're going to have downtime where you have your stamina needs to replenish or something like that. So if you have like a bigger pool of stamina from a food buff, some food buffs also give you a increase in your stamina recharge rate. So those foods are very important. There's other more combat oriented foods. There's ones that give you more health, which is very important when fighting the enemies, which can swarm you. So it's important. So cooking is one that you really want to level up, I think. Fletching is good if you're going to be. I mean, it's not really that necessary, honestly. I was having this discussion earlier, and fletching is almost sort of useless in a way because after like the first couple of levels, let's say, because once you can make sort of the second tier of arrows, which are just flint arrows. This is like one step above wood arrows. You have an arrow that can kill a deer. And deer are the only thing that I actually use my bow to hunt because they run from you. They're the only things that run. Well, I guess rabbits do too, but I can always catch the rabbits. The deer are hard to catch. So it's always easiest to just shoot an arrow at them, kill them in one hit, and then go up and skin them and loot them. So, um, but yeah, I mean, like progressing on to whatever the higher arrows are, iron tipped or whatever tipped arrows. Like I said before, I don't really use the bow to pull things because then I have to switch to my melee weapon and I have to wait for the cooldown. It's really annoying. They really need to implement something, unless it's in there already and I'm just missing it, where you can switch between two weapons without losing your cooldowns, right? So anyway, fletching, I probably won't really prioritize that too much. Jewelry making, I haven't done much with. I think a lot of this jewelry making, if I'm correct, is going to require some of the enchanting materials that you get from the PvP zone, which I haven't really thought about going to yet. Maybe I should go there sometime soon. Anyway, moving down here, leatherworking. Like I said, I've been leveling that up quite a bit, just because of the armors that I'm making for myself. Let's skip a little bit down to tailoring and weaponsmithing. They're slightly leveled up. The weaponsmithing is good. I mean, obviously you can make your weapons, but that's where your tools are also. So say you want to progress to the bronze chopping axe or the iron chopping axe so that you can chop down a higher level trees and get more wood. The way that you make that is through weaponsmithing. So that's the main reason that I level up weaponsmithing. That, and I guess to get the better spears. Spears are mainly what I've used throughout early access. I've tried swords and shields, and they're okay, but I sort of like I like the spears. Okay, next is winemaking and brewing. Haven't touched it yet. I did a lot during the early access. I think I had this up to like 20, but I don't know. I haven't really been prioritizing that. One of the things I am prioritizing and why I skipped them are all of the gathering professions. So mining and woodcutting, especially, you can see that those are fairly high because I want to have access to the higher level tools for one thing, because you have to be level 10 to start using the iron chopping axe or the iron pickaxe so that you can actually start getting iron ores and the bigger trees. um, and I really want to prioritize getting those to level 20 so that I can start using the wrought iron. I think it's by then the wrought iron tools so that I can get the highest level of things like granite and stuff like that. And then, of course, there's skinning, which is just going up naturally as I kill animals and then I skin them to get their leather. So that one's another gathering profession. Now, there is no gathering profession for just foraging. I thought that they were talking about putting that in, but they haven't done it yet. So just going out and collecting plants and clay and whatever else off the ground, there's no leveling for that. All right, so I mentioned before blacksmithing. This is the blacksmithing area. What is this thing? This is the basic forge, right? So this is where you make, you'll notice that it requires blacksmithing level to make these things. And these are the things like I don't know, the precursor materials, the ingredients that you need for other things. Like here's your bronze arrowheads if you wanted to make the bronze tipped arrows, or your bronze axe head, which is needed for making the bronze chopping axe and stuff. The bronze spike for the bronze pickaxe. Uh, this is why you need to level up the blacksmithing. If you're going to be making your own tools or your weapons, you need to level up the blacksmithing also. So then that you can come over to your weaponsmithing table, for instance, and put those things to good use. Like there's your bronze bar and then sapwood, and you got your bronze pickaxe. So yeah, that's where I stand with my skills. Now, lately, my playstyle mostly is just going out, exploring, and getting things to level up my skills. So, for instance, for my cooking, which I already said why it's so important, I've had to go out looking for the things that are going to level me reliably. For instance, you'll notice these tiers here on the side. So things that are green starred are trivial. There's actually another tier. Let me see if I can find an example of one. So yeah, the crown is mastered, and then the green star is trivial. So when it's mastered, I don't think you get any experience for it. When it's trivial, it's almost certainly never going to fail, but you're going to get like a pittance of experience. And let's go back over here again. Yeah, here. So yellow is easy, different levels of easy. And for those, they're mostly not going to fail, although they will sometimes. And then you move on to your moderate, and then you move on to hard. And then there's actually impossible. Sometimes an impossible recipe will show up. Maybe you've unlocked it by discovering some resource or something. But generally, I will try to make easy things just because your failure rate is going to be low. And even though you're getting a little bit less XP, it's going to even out, because if I move on to moderate, it's going to fail sometimes. And I think it kind of evens out. I very rarely will try anything hard unless I just have a ton of that resource, or I really, really just want to gamble. Like maybe there's something that I have to make that is a prerequisite for another crafting station that I'm really, really looking to get. I know in the past I've done that. So, yeah, anyway, my homestead here is very much a work in progress. This is, honestly, I know where most things are in these chests, even though they're very disorganized. Like I know that in here is a lot of animal products. So we have carcasses, the hooves, the bone fragments, all that kind of stuff, the suet, animal fat. And then over in the next one, for instance, is all of my like gems and different weird ores, like silver ore, and I think there's some lead in here, but a lot of the jewels that are going to be used for jewel crafting. A whole bunch of reeds are in here. I don't even know why I'm keeping some of these stone planters. Maybe I figure that I'll be able to use them at some point. I only made them because I was leveling up my carpentry. So, yeah. Anyway, well, let's look at my inventory. You'll notice that my inventory is completely full. And that's just because I very recently got back. Right before I started this video, actually, I got back from a hour-and-a-half long exploration trying to get elderberries. Now, that whole long time I've gotten, 69 elderberries. And the reason I want those is because this orange recipe here, moderate recipe for golden barley water, needs 5 elderberries. And that's what I'm mainly using at the moment to level my cooking. Every other cooking recipe here is green. So, I mean, you might think, well, what about this one, Zach? No, that's actually a baking recipe. It's just grouped in here. So if we go, these two are cooking, they're green. You get to these orange ones, and this one's baking also, but this is the only one that's going to reliably level me for cooking. Now, there's another cooking station over here, this basic cooking hearth, and even these are green, and then you get up to this red, bleak boiled veggies that have all of these ingredients here, which it's always good to look ahead and see what these recipes are going to need, so that if you find these things out in the wild, you know to pick them up, because there's a ton of things to pick up when you're out there exploring. And a lot of them are going to be useless. I mean, your bags are very limited. You can see this. They fill up very quickly. And, I mean, you have to actually put your tools in there. That has to take up some of the stuff, some of the space. Your arrows, your food items, stuff like that, take up space. So really, you're probably left with something on the order of like 35 spaces or something like that. What if this is 8 times 3 plus a couple on the top and the bottom here? So 30-ish, let's say, spaces. So you can't pick up everything, and they haven't implemented any kind of carts or anything like that Valheim has. So you are pretty much just stuck with the swords that you have. You can never get bags that are going to increase that like that carrying capacity. So anyway, I figured you might be interested in seeing this, like what it looks like when I come back with bags loaded full of stuff. So I went looking for these elderberries, and I went to a place where there was just tons of barley grain, and like they give you barley stalks as well, and somewhere in here there should be rye. Yeah, rye grain, because I really want to start working on my bread making, which is why I have a couple of millstones and a bread oven down here. So I have some rye flour already being made here, already having been made. Maybe I'll make some more since I have some in my bags. I'll just fill up the rest of those slots there. I'm not really prepared to grab these yet because I don't know where to put them. So that's a rye millstone, and this is one that I was using for barley, which is unfortunately completely full, so I can't put any new ones in there. But then here's the bread oven. So we're gonna need lard and just rye dough, and I can start making bread, and that's gonna be fine. That was one of the things that I leveled up quite a bit in. Oh, here, let's take a look at what those breads actually do. I mean, look at this. It will increase your blunt weapon damage. No, I'm sorry. That's completely wrong. It gives you 10 blunt block. So you're going to block blunt a little bit. You're going to block piercing slightly less, but still better than if you don't eat this. You'll have a little bit more health regen. You get a little bit more base health, and this is going to last for 20 minutes. And then if you move on to the next bread, you'll notice that it's slightly different, slightly better stats. Like, for instance, you go from 90 max health and 3.1 health regen to 100 max health and 3.3. But for this one, you need blueberries. And I'm going to tell you right now, blueberries suck. They are the worst thing to find. I know where they're at, and I can barely find them because they just blend in with the foliage on the ground. Now, I know that I could turn down the foliage level. I mean, look at this. This is all just grass and plants and stuff. I know I could turn that down by just going into the settings and stuff, but I kind of like the way it looks. And I mean, I can still find the blueberries. It's just not very easy. So I think I'd rather it look nice and look more realistic with all this stuff on the ground and be a little bit harder than vice versa. If I get really frustrated, maybe I'll go ahead and turn that down. But so far, I've been able to find a decent amount of blueberries. And it's not everything that's hard to find. Like, a lot of the stuff sticks out like a sore thumb. It's just the blueberries blend right in with the grass. They're almost, maybe if you know exactly where they are, you can see them. But they will be blending. I should just go look for some. Maybe I'll go look for some. And we can see what other people have built along the way. Instead of me just circling my area there over and over again. Oh, wait a second. Duh. I need to clear out bags. I always make this mistake. I wanted to show you guys what the bags can look like when you come back, and then I completely would have forgot. Oh, no. Okay, well, we can't put them in with the rest of our stone, but there's plenty of room in this one. Okay, so one of the things that I've been able to get fairly recently, just starting to, is heartwood. And heartwood is really, really necessary. And with my level of pickaxe, or of chopping axe, which is the iron chopping axe, I can get level 2 trees. Trees with 2 hardness, let's say. And that is not really that great, honestly, because, well, let's see, where do these elderberries go? I think they go in here. Yeah, I actually still have some elderberries from before. But yeah, like the trees that I can chop down with this are better than the ones that I started with, being able to chop, but getting heartwood from them is still very rare. But there's this one tree that you can chop down that gives you a little bit of heartwood. It gives you like 3 or 4, sometimes 5 if you're lucky. And it's called like this, it's like this hawthorn sapling. If I see one, I'll show you. It's this twisted looking little tree that, you know, you'd probably just pass it by. But yeah, it's very important. Let's just put some of this flax fiber. I don't even know why I have flax fiber. I think I picked that up by accident. I'm just going to throw stuff in here so that we can get going. And I'll organize everything later. Put those carcasses, more of this. I did get quite a bit of rye and barley. Everything's just hodgepodge in here. Mustard is very necessary for some of the upcoming cooking recipes. Okay, let's go to this one because I want to put this stack of leather by the other leather. And the rest of this stuff, I'm just going to take down to my smelting area. All right, so I've been keeping all of my ores in here, and I needed a little bit more copper ore so that I could make bronze. Bronze actually needs, you need a ton of bronze to level up your blacksmithing and armor smithing and weaponsmithing. But it requires 20 copper ore, 20 tin ore, and 100 sapwood. So I wanted to get a little bit more copper so that I could make a couple of stacks of bronze. By the way, oh, look at this. I was making some glass because I thought maybe that might be, well, I get a ton of sand when I'm out there mining and stuff. So I figured I'd just make some glass for when I eventually do the alchemy. Excuse me 1 second. Just needed a drink of water. All right, so we're gonna head over this way, and I'm gonna try to find those blueberries and show you just how horrible it is. But in the meantime, we can look at what's going on in this area. So there's people building all over the place, especially, we'll be going past a lot bigger and more extravagant places. This is the place where I actually bought my iron chopping axe, and he was selling them for a really good price. Let's see if he has any more. He's got a lot of stuff going on in here. I think everyone must have bought the chopping axes. I hope he makes more. I mean, I'll be able to make them eventually, but anyway, it looks like he's focusing a lot on tailoring, which is a thing to do. It's the cloth armor isn't as good for defense as the leather. Here's a bunch of bronze pickaxes. I think I've got that area covered. I actually have a polished bronze pickaxe, which is slightly better than the regular bronze pickaxe. So anyway, here's someone's basic house. Doesn't that look like a face there with a open mouth? It's just like, it sort of reminds me of the Monster House for some reason from that movie. Anyway, yeah, let's see. My house is up there, or it's going to be at least. But people are building all along this river. You can kind of see as we look up here, there's tons of plots taken. So let's keep going. I may take you up along the near where the petroglyph is, where we started the game, because there's some pretty extravagant buildings up there already. Unfortunately, it's getting dark. That's bound to happen, though. Here's some interesting structure. Wow. That is... sorry, I just had to answer somebody. So yeah, this is a stone base with a very overarching wooden structure on the top. Anyway, let's keep going. So here's a tree, by the way. This is one that I can chop down. Takes a little while to chop it, like, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, let's say. And it will probably give about 70 to 100 sapwood. See, so you can see why it's very important. Here, I'll show you. This is one of the trees that we can chop down in the very beginning. And this thing gives 8 sapwood. And of course resin, which I really don't need at the moment, so I'm just going to chuck it. But here's someone's house. You can see one of the things to do is just to have multiple of these smelters going, have a lot of charcoal furnaces, or what are they called? Charcoal kilns? Yeah, that's it. And so that you have a constant supply of metal being produced. I've been slacking at that, unfortunately, and I'm sure it'll come back to bite me, but anyway. So what I have to do, this is a forest. This is, as you can see up in the top right up there, it says Old Forest. So it tells you what your biome is. And the blueberries are in here. They are in here, and I'm going to try to find them. It's going to be frustrating. I know that they're around the bases of the trees. And then once we find them, I'm going to show you what they look like and how they blend in. But the way to find them is we have to... Oh, you know what? I do need divine mushrooms. Let me just grab these as well. There's a recipe that I can't quite make yet, but I will be able to make soon. There was another guy that just ran through here. I wonder if he's looking for blueberries also. If so, it might make it even more difficult to find them for our purposes. So let's see here. Yeah, there's like, in this whole forest, there might be a few patches of blueberries. And they're needed for so many of the early cooking recipes that it's very frustrating. There's some penny buns. I mean, those you can see coming a mile away. Look at that. I can see those while I'm on the road and run in there and get the stupid mushrooms. These ones too. These are these are also penny buns. But blueberries, good luck. Let's see. I did find some on a rock, and they were actually easy to find, easy to see. Oh, here's some garlic. I definitely need garlic. I need to pick up any garlic I see because there's a number of cooking, and I think there's actually a recipe for carpentry that needs garlic. As odd as that sounds, there is. Oh, here's more divine mushrooms. Good, good, good. Let's just grab all those. At least we're getting something instead of while we're looking for these blueberries. But this is the game, basically. What is this? Is this more? Oh, here we go. Okay, blueberries. Okay, watch this. I'm walking along here. I know that they're around that tree, but I cannot see them. Granted, it is dark. It's getting dark in there. But look, we know that there's one right there. Right there. Here, let me zoom in. There's one right there, but good luck while you're running through here trying to find them, unless you just happen to look down there and see it. What I have to do is go through here slowly and just wait until the reticule picks one up, which is what I was doing. Now we know that there's one over there, or some of them. So let's see. Is this? Yeah, here they are. So, and it won't pick it up if you're running through fast. You'll walk right. You can walk right over it. You see, I walked right over where they are. There they are. Blueberries, I tell you, they're the bane of my existence. Okay, so let's grab all the blueberries that are around this tree. And I mean, I very well might miss one, but I think I'm going to get them all. Okay. Now, those are the first blueberries that we found. How many did we get? We got 9 blueberries. Each recipe, each attempt at making one of those recipes uses 5 blueberries. Never any less than that, at least for any of the blueberry-related recipes that I've seen. And they very well could... Oh, look at this. Here's a blueberry. This is a red letter day in history here. I've actually found some... Wait, there's only one there. Really? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You know what happened there, I bet? Yeah, beehive pieces. Someone came through here, found those blueberries, but they missed one of the blueberry bushes. And that's the one that I was able to find. So yeah, I guess anyone that's leveling up their cooking is going to be out there looking for blueberries. Now, I will tell you, oh, what's this? This is more garlic. Yes, definitely. You need to take that. Garlic also shows up in these old forests. So yeah, I've been looking and looking for blueberries. I've actually progressed a little bit beyond where blueberries are needed so much. What's this? A deer? Okay, I'll skin a deer. Someone killed a deer and forgot to skin it. Interesting. Okay, so did you see that there was a deer there? Let's wait for him to come back. And I'm going to use my bow and try to get him. There he comes. So he's right there, and bam. Okay, so now we get our own killed deer to loot and skin. And you'll get like a million things from these. You get hooves, animal hides, suet, sinew, animal fat, yada, yada, yada. You name it. Your bags get filled up very quickly from hunting, and they get, oh, look at this, a blueberry. Just so happened that I stopped where a blueberry happened to be. Otherwise, I probably would have walked right past it. This is a pretty good blueberry picking day. We've gotten 22 of them. I can make 4 crafts with that amount of blueberries. Now the respawn rate, oh, there's someone chopping. I think the respawn rate, I don't know. Oh, here's more divine mushrooms. I'll take those. The respawn rate is probably on the order of like 10, 15 minutes or something like that. So it's not like I could like circle this forest and then come back to where I know there were blueberries before. Now you can do stuff like, you can mark the map with, say I want to mark it with a blueberry. Let's see. Control and right click, and we can add some markers, some custom markers here. Now, I guess, I don't know. I don't really see anything that looks like a fruit, I guess. But I could put this right here to signify that there's blueberries or something. But I am going to remove that because I already know that there's blueberries in this forest. This is my main blueberry hunting zone at the moment. So, but I'm guessing it's probably everybody's. So anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can find some enemies to fight. So they show up on the map here. This one right here, since it's right in the starting area, right near the petroglyph, these are probably level 1s. So let's go see if we can get some of those guys. Oh, there's another deer, by the way. Oh, I spooked it. I will leave the blueberry hunting for another time, unless I happen to just stumble upon some here. Could happen, right? As a habit, I just sort of slow down around every tree. Okay, so we're going south. I think that's where, oh, here's a boar. Oh, darn it, and I'm not wearing, I don't have my, see, okay, look. I just brought the spear out, and my cooldowns down there are like, they were 20 seconds. So I can't use any of my good abilities. So I'm just gonna have to stab this boar to death with just right-clicking. Which I can do. I can survive with my armor as it is now. But back when I had no armor, one boar would be actually hit or miss whether I'd survive against that one boar. If I see any garlic, oh, there's another deer. That could be, yeah, that's a stag. Let's get him. They give the larger leathers. So, and they give antlers. among all the other stuff. And we inch ahead on our skinning level there. So anyway, I got 3 large rough hides there, as you saw. Now, let's see. Okay, so we're probably getting close. Yeah, it's right over here. So is my spear? My spear is not even out. Okay. And let's get some food buffs going, because we are going to be fighting these guys. So I have these grapes that I found. They give 180 max health and a lot of stamina. I'm eating the divine mushrooms. I really shouldn't have done that. I should have had this golden barley water. And this spiced grilled meat I actually just found for like 3 gold at someone's market stall, and I bought it. Gives another 110 max health and some stamina. All right, so here's some guys. Now, since I don't want to use the bow, I usually just have to try to inch my way up and get the attention of one of them. And when they turn red, the arrow guy you can usually dodge, and then you can sort of draw him out. So I just move to the side and I can dodge his arrow. The further you are away from him, the better that works. Now I'll just use my abilities and he's pretty much dead very quickly. And look at that, I leveled up my clothes a little bit more. So what do you get from these guys? You get you get gold always, like 3 or 4, sometimes 5 gold, and then you'll get like a random item or 2. And what I got was this Datura fruit extract, which is used for alchemy. Now, I'm not doing any alchemy at the moment, and I don't feel like storing tons of useless at the moment extracts. So, okay, these guys are a little bit tougher because of the shield, but usually they're killable. Sometimes they've actually gotten me a couple of times, killed me, but usually I can get them. See, we got some gold and some Lily of the Valley extract. What's this guy doing over here? Oh, someone else is pulling the guys out. Sorry it is dark out. I should have timed this video a little bit better, but usually there's another guy in the back here. Yeah, there he is. So this is another arrow guy. We'll just avoid his arrow again. And these level 1s are fairly easy. Come on out here, guy. Follow me out. And we'll dodge one more arrow and then go into kill. I like these bows because, not these bows, these spears, because the abilities are pretty neat. Like the one for R, which is the barrage, it just like keeps jabbing at them over and over again. And usually that'll kill a boar. Okay, so let's get another couple of these guys, maybe. Now, it would be great to be able to use the bow and arrow to pull those guys out. But unfortunately, I really don't want... Okay, there's another guy coming in there. Let's see if I can grab this guy. Come on, dude. I'm right here. Do I have to jump? Oh, seriously? Okay, I didn't want to get the guy on the top as well, because getting multiple of them can be a little bit problematic sometimes, even these level 1s. Oh, that was terrible. I completely missed him. Okay, dead. Sometimes you can see that I'm unlocking recipes as I go. Okay, he got that one. I think that's all of them. He probably cleared out all the rest. The ones that are in here. Anyway, okay, I think is it getting lighter out again? Maybe. Let's go up through this forest. I want to go up to the petroglyph again and just show you guys what other people have been building. And people must have been playing around the clock, honestly. Or they're probably working with a clan where people are, like clan members are bringing resources back, and then maybe there's a main architect that is, what is this? Yellow, I'll grab the onions. Okay. So, yeah, I think they must be working in tandem to build some of these structures. Yeah, what is this? That's just a bunch of tree branches. I'd really love to find some more garlic, at least. That I can see in the distance. But, oh, there's a boar. Well, I might as well get it. A boar. It's a boar. There's another a boar right there. Okay. I shouldn't have used the barrage the way I did. He was already dead. Then I could have used the barrage on that second boar. But we'll use some of the other abilities here. And you'll notice this pop-up thing here that tells me about the combat skills, and the items I'm getting is still as annoying as it was in the first video. I haven't found a way to turn that off. Let's see, where are we here? We're right below the petroglyph, but this hill is a little steep. Oh wow, you see what someone built way up there? That is crazy. Let's get up and see that up at the top. No more, no, wait. Oh, oats. I don't need oats yet. I'm sure that when I do need oats, that I won't be able to find them anywhere, but here's nice rock. I might as well just grab these. This has been going fast with all the people flooding the valley and building their structures. The nice rock is very difficult to actually get. People are gobbling it up like nobody's business. And look at all that. Look at all that junk that you get. Just from this, right? I'm getting sand. I'm getting the nice that I'm looking for. I'm getting lead. I'm getting silver ore. It just clogs up the bags. Here's somebody. Let's see if I can get up this hill. Hey, a boar. Let's kill that boar, and then we'll kill that boar with barrage, and then we'll get all of the leather. You'll notice on the left side there, the chat is fairly active in this valley. And the chat is specific to the valley, I think. Although you can change what channel you're on, I believe. I usually just keep it on the valley channel. Oh, here's some deer. I literally just snuck up on them. Usually you can't do that. Usually you need to kill them with a ranged bow attack, but sometimes they're not paying attention. And I wasn't even paying attention, but I still got it. Okay, so let's keep going up the hill here. Now, a lot of people didn't stray too far from the petroglyph, which, you know, does have its benefits, actually. Someone's just building literally a mountain of stone over there. It'll be interesting to see what that turns out to be eventually. But yeah, up here we've got someone building. This is pretty nice. We can always go in and explore these places. Let's look out the back here. I think this is the one that we were seeing from down below, probably, when I looked up the mountain. There's like a stair here. What is the stair even for? Nothing, really. I hope I don't die falling off of this thing. What the heck? Oh my god. Okay, look at all these chests. Honestly, I probably need this many chests. That would be very useful. So yeah, there's like, this is an interesting build, but there's some better ones. Let me show you. So yeah, one of the benefits for building near the petroglyph is, I guess you have access to some of these crafting stations if you don't want to build your own, but mostly people build their own. The real reason is the teleporting. You can actually fast travel in this game, but you can only fast travel between the petroglyphs of each zone. So there's actually a hearth. Like if you're familiar with World of Warcraft, there's a hearth feature where you can come every hour, it's on cooldown, and you can fast travel back to your home petroglyph, which mine is set to my home valley here. And you can see mine is, like, we came a long way from where my houses were, but like through this forest here and up to the Petra. But that's like such a small fraction of this province that it's ridiculous. But yeah, so for instance, say I wanted to travel over to Gale, to its petroglyph, I would actually have to go over and discover it on my own first. Once you discover it, you can actually teleport to it. It requires a little bit of grace. I think it might be like 15 or 20, but it does save a lot of time. Now, oh, what is this? I can actually fast travel to the gate. I had no idea that I could do that. So you can fast travel. Oh, wow. See, I was originally thinking that I was going to build my house up here. And at the end of last video, I had started already building it there because it was right next to this wildlands where I knew there was a lot of limestone and granite, which I would need later. But it was a very short walk up to the Lioness PvP zone. But really, it doesn't matter because I can teleport for free to that place at any time. That's good to know. And I haven't even visited it yet. So I can do that without even having gone to unlock that one. But for all the other ones, you have to unlock them. Okay, so here we're getting into some of the more interesting structures that people are building. You have that spiral staircase in that one. Then you have, oftentimes you'll see these just chest farms here. Sometimes they're actually public chests where people are just giving stuff away, but mostly they're private. I think up this way there was some interesting stuff. Yeah, there's some works in progress, as you can see. There's a lake down here. A lot of wicker. I think that's wicker. Let's see. If I go into the construction hammer. Well, it's not called wicker, it's just called hut walls. They require reeds and wood. This is all that I'm able to build at my current level of carpentry at the moment, which is why I haven't really been building any walls. I'm going to wait until I get the cottage walls and the stucco and the bricks and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of works in progress going on here. Look at the stairway that's going up to that structure up top there. So yeah, anyway. How much space do I still have? A lot of this stuff I would probably throw out if I needed to. But anyway, maybe that's a good enough tour of what's going on after a couple of days in Pax Dei now, after the full release. So a lot of it is boring and not video worthy, really. So what is all this? This is just nice and rocks. But yeah, like a lot of it is just literally going out and trying for hours to find stuff. You know what? I'm actually going to take this periwinkle. Because I looked ahead and there was actually a recipe that needs the periwinkle. So that I'm actually going to pick up. But what is this? More tree branches. So yeah, I will probably, come back in a couple of days and update on what my progress is for building my house and maybe looking at what my skills have gotten up to and stuff like that. Hopefully my house will get more into some sort of order because I hate I hate how disheveled it is at the moment. So I like when everything's organized and easily findable, let's say. You know what? Let's check out this market stall here. Nothing. Maybe something in the other one? Nothing. Okay. Well, what about this? Let's just chop this tree down. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your experience is with Pax Dei so far. Maybe you're one of the people that are. Oh, look at this! I had this tree fall right onto their plot here. But anyway, let me know. Maybe one of you guys that are watching this is someone in my home valley here, or if you're still on the fence about getting Pax Day. Um, I don't know. You can tell me about what your reservations are. Maybe I can answer some questions if you have them. And yeah, just get a dialogue going. Anyway, until next time, see you later.